Volume test. Test. Testing. All right, hey, we got the volume going. What's up, bout betters? Well, today we are going to be drinking this Founders 4 Giants. I haven't had this beer. I always review these microbrews that are in Chicago that you're not able to access. So today what we're doing is accessing a... Joey, hop in the chat. Let me know that if I fall out or something, send me a text and I'll be able to get it, hopefully, and see it via text. So this is a beer that you should be able to get if you live here in the United States, a Founders 4 Giants. It's a pretty strong beer at 8.4 volume here. It is a hazy Imperial. So summon the Giants. You see that? It's got 50 IBUs. So it's got a lot of hops in there. That's what we're going to have today. And we're going to have that with the Arturo Fuentes Maduro. It's a cedar wrap Maduro cigar. There it is, the Arturo Fuentes. Another Maduro, which just means that it's a very mature cigar. I mean, a mature wrapper cigar. I didn't read the specs on it if it's like a Mexican binder or a Nicaraguan binder. The filler, it should be primarily. I think Arturo Dominican is a Dominican cigar primarily, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have Mexican and or Nicaraguan fillers and or binders. So I got this thing at Benny's. So this is another cigar that you should be able to find someplace. So summon the Giants, guys. I'm going to break open this 4-pack here. Break this shit open. And if you guys want to leave some questions or something like that into the comment section. He can hear me. You can hear me now, Joey, right? Joey, can you hear me still or no?
Says we can't see you.
No, you can't see me yet because I'm talking about the beer. So boom. That's how the can looks. Pretty nice can. Pretty fancy. Again, it's the Founders 4 Giants. I need a light behind me, but that's okay. We're gonna switch to the camera. We're gonna flip the camera around here. I have a friend, Josh, here that we're gonna sample these just the beers with, and then we'll go from there. So you can still hear me, guys, right? Testing. I can test it out here. Testing, yeah, they could hear us. All right, so hopefully this doesn't fuck up when I do this. Boom. What's up, outbetters? Hey, what's going on, folks? I see Josh's ears. Oh, there you go. Josh is in the picture. Josh, you want to grab your beer?
We got the MMA family in here.
Why is there a delay? Okay, that's interesting. There's a little. What's up, guys? What's up, Brian, Joey? I got a little injury at the water park yesterday, so there's the water injury, little scrape on the head, and as you can tell, tons of sunburn. I did horrible. My performance was lacking, but we made an attempt. I am super out of shape, and it paid dearly, both financially and just on physically. I'm sore. I am beat up. Who's acting like he's 20 years old out there, Brian? What are you talking about, Brian? What are you talking? Come on, what are you guys talking about here? See, this is a cedar wrap Arturo Fuentes cigar. This is like $20 at the Benny's. Arturo Fuentes makes fine cigars. I love been smoking these and have enjoyed Arturo Fuentes now for decades. We're gonna grab my little X-Acto knife up in here. Yeah, I could hit the Pacific waves. Don't worry about it, Brian. Don't worry. All in time. I'm a little rusty. It isn't like riding a bike. You just can't hop into it, At least I admit what happens, you know what I mean? And the Pacific is different. You get different power. The wave pool wave is a speciality. You definitely have to be used to it. And it's just a different style of surfing, and it's something that I'm not accustomed to, so... Yeah, and I don't know what Brian's talking about now. He must be drunk or something like that, because, So yeah, I'm doing a little cross tea there again, guys. I've been doing this tea now for a bit. I used to not do the tea, because I felt that it sort of destroyed your cigar in a way, but O'Malley by sub. Yeah, O'Malley going by sub is hey, and another is a possibility, not a possibility, or is a likely methodology. I mean, him by sub is his best way to win. He's not going to win a kickboxing match against Peter Yan. And in fact, I think Peter Yan, even though he wasn't able to wrestle against Sterling, Peter Yan would be able to wrestle against O'Malley. So guys, hey, keep on active in the chat. If I fall off or this thing stops, let me know, because it's the stupid phone. I didn't get an iPhone. It's a dumb phone, and it's going to clunk out as always. It's going to stop going, and I'm not going to be able to see when it doesn't. So send me a text, and I should hear it or be able to see it. If Joey, if you send me a text, but these guys don't stay here long enough. But we're going to light this up. So I finally got this going. At least I feel good enough. At least I feel good enough to smoke a cigar and have a beer here. We'll start with the cigar. Actually, no. Levitt sub. Yeah, I don't know about that sub right now. Patty looks really, really in shape. He looks ready. And is Levitt like really this jiu-jitsu whiz? Yes, he's pretty good at jiu-jitsu. But look how he did against Pujols, who is more of a legitimate submission guy. So I don't think that his jiu-jitsu is going to be that much more fantastic than Patty Pimlet's. So I think he's in a lot of trouble. Pimlet knows all he has to do is keep this on the ground, and he's going to be able to solidify a victory here. So we always start with the feeder here. Warm up that tobacco a little bit. Keep it out of the direct flame, even though I did put it in the flame there a little bit. Come on. Already off to a bad start, guys. Just like my my VSR pool session. I'm going back to the wave pool again. We'll go. I'm probably going to go to Cabo first, though, where I'm used to seeing the wave. I'm used to the way things going. I had a little bit too direct in the flame, guys. I don't normally like to do that.
You gotta hit it at you.
Like, listen to the guy telling me how to smoke a cigar or doesn't smoke cigars. It's pretty funny. That's you guys in the audience. Telling me about surfing, telling me about everything else. As long as we see that live still, I gotta always check. You didn't pour or open your beer, dude?
Oh, yeah.
Damn, this looks good.
Oh, yeah. It looks creamy. Ale-y. Hazy.
Not a lot of citrus. Not as much citrus as some of the other ones I've had recently, but not bad. Good color. I think everyone's going for this golden ale sort of look to it.
Go ahead, boy.
So this Fuentes, it has a lot of spice right now. It's definitely it's raw. It needs to be sit and age so that it could get a lot more of its sweetness to it. It has a lot of natural sort of a little maple or little honeyish character to it, but it's way too small, and it's not like super evident. It's not super striking, and that's because it's just wrapped in the cedar, and it's not aged really in the cedar at all. What's your first impression of the Four Giants, Josh?
Pretty good. Imperial. Hazy IPA. Uh, can you say Imperial means top notch, good quality?
Oh yeah, that's an Imperial. All right. Well, it's an Imperial ale. It's something with the casking where it has a creaminess to it, but it has a kick. Like you can, it's not in a bourbon cask, but it seems to have something that increases that alcohol content.
You know it's a hazy IPA. I mean, you taste the IPA towards the back end of it.
Jojo, Josh, you got the first question. They welcome you to About Better. Who you got in the main event between Aspinall and Curtis Blades?
Aspinall's up and coming, and Blades is still trying to make that run. It's definitely going to be what weight class is that? Is that light heavyweight?
Heavyweight. Right, heavyweight.
That's a good one, man. Curtis Blades got that power. Aspinall can move.
What I tell people is Aspinall's got power too. People don't think that Aspinall has genuine one-hit power. And even though against Volkov, he went for the wrestling, he was standing up with them and he stood up against other people. I think he's legit. I think he's a well-rounded fighter. Did we already lose somebody or somebody's just texting me?
For heavyweights, they're both pretty athletic.
Super athletic. But Blades doesn't move as well, but he has the other athleticism, the wrestling athleticism, the body strength. I mean, he's a physical specimen. He's going to be bigger than Aspinall, but he's not a fast-moving heavyweight. But as a wrestler, he just has to be fast in certain positions. He doesn't have to be fast on the feet. He's improving on the feet, but he's not very quick in his defense. He's not very good in his takedown defense because he doesn't have to face any wrestlers. But here's a difference that I'll put out to you guys. What if Aspinall decides to wrestle? No one's thinking about that Aspinall has good grappling and good jiu-jitsu. What if he is happy to engage in the wrestling and the grappling scrambles because he has a huge jiu-jitsu advantage? So no one's really talking about that. Everyone's just assuming that, it's a wrestler versus Aspinall sort of stand-up and his jiu-jitsu. But I think that people are underestimating two things: Aspinall's actual offensive wrestling and his actual hands, his power in his hands. So
yeah, Aspinall's something else. Blades been established. Is Blades coming off a loss, or did he get that that W last time?
We could see right here. He's coming off a win. I'm almost certain he's coming off a win.
Yeah, prior to that was the loss with the
he was knocked out before that fight, but he is coming off a win. And I think it was against one of the two brothers that were both overrated, unfortunately. The guy who got knocked out by Lewis, and let's see here. Boom. I didn't have that window set up. I got someone, at least yeah, he's coming off a win against Chris Dawkins, where he knocked him out in the second round. He beat Jairzinho Rosenstruck. He lost to by a TKO over Lewis. He beat Volkov to a decision. He knocked out Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah, but Blades is Blades. I mean, he's good. He's good, and the other guy's up and coming, Aspinall. I mean, he's good as well.
Well, this is certainly a number one contender's bout. I mean, Blades has been barking up the tree of wanting a championship for a long time. And Aspinall is willing to jump up and face any of the top three or even the champion right out the gate, which I think is a mistake. I think going up against someone like Blades is a good thing for him. It gives him a little bit more experience in the bigger stage against somebody who's it's definitely the best opponent he has faced from a wrestling standpoint and a ranking standpoint, because I think Blades is top 3, top 5. So this will enable Aspinall to get that legit ranking, which doesn't mean shit. They could give him the championship right out the gate. And don't be surprised that if he defeats Blades in this bout, if he finishes Blades, that we're going to see Aspinall as the favorite in a championship bout over against Ciro Gane or Tai Tuivasa if he wins. He would definitely destroy Tai Tuivasa in my opinion. But let's see where it's going. We haven't seen how he could do against these bigger heavyweights. So this is going to be the largest heavyweight that he's encountered, the most well-rounded, most skilled. But it's going to be a good main event. I think that I'm on Aspinall big time. He is my primary bet at 2 units. I got 2 units at various increments, even as high as minus 134. And I'm going to bet the finish. Let's see what the finish line is right here. If they offer, yeah, the finish line's in, and all the props are in, guys. So we could discuss props if you want to. So Aspinall by KO or TKO is plus 290. The submission is plus 660. So here's what I'm going to do. The finish line is the finish line. They don't have the finish. Where's the finish? Yeah, Tom Aspinall by finish is minus 155. That is ridiculous. That is chalk. So you're better off, in my opinion, sprinkling the TKO and the submission accordingly. Split what you would spend on the finish, which for me would be a half unit. So I got to do 30-20 on one of these. So I got to do $30 on the TKO and 20 on the submission or something like that. Yeah, Joey, I know his money line, Aspinall's money line is now minus 139. Remember we were talking about him when he was the underdog? When we first saw it, we needed to jump on that. We didn't. We missed out. Oh, yeah, I got my pimple nose that I could see right now, too. That's just a pimple that I busted on my nose. It isn't part of the scar that I got at the wave pool. I have a shoulder scar here, a little gash, and then the head gash. But a little overconfident. It's all right. Little expensive trip. I'm going to heal up. It's a good experience. I feel good. My body is really sore. I think the sunburn also killed me. It was 110 degrees yesterday in Texas where I was at, in Waco. So it was harsh environment, new learning experience. I need to get a new board too. It's just not supporting the extra weight that I gained. And then I just been out of the water for a few months. So excuses aside, I just wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. I got my ass handed to me. That's the way it goes. It's like in MMA. If you're not out there, you're not out there practicing, you're not out there training, you're not out there participating and pushing yourself, you're going to get lit up. You're going to get worked. It's going to be a problem for you. So that's what happened to me yesterday in that little surf session. It sucks to pay for those problems. I don't like the way this nose scab looks, but I can't do anything. I don't have any makeup with me right now, but that's all right. But yeah, and Joey, yes, I know that Aspinall is minus 139, but I always anticipated on betting the finish as well. And for the finish to be minus 115, there's no point in betting the finish. You're better off splitting what you would bet in the finish in both the TKO and or sub. And I think the TKO is more likely than the sub. And that is why the TKO is at plus 190, as I said, and the submission is plus 650. But that submission is not out of play. It's not out of whack. I think Aspinall Jiu-Jitsu is legitimate. It's there. It isn't just the Kimura. It isn't just his arms. I think he could get rear nakeds. I haven't seen him fight off his back. It'd be interesting if he is like a Frank Mir that could fight off his back. And if he could, he will be definitely one of the most dangerous heavyweights in ever. If he could actually fight off his back and be able to like take a blow, and then when these guys follow him down, snatch up an arm or a knee bar or a triangle choke, that would be very impressive. Frank Mir was the only heavyweight really to have that level of jiu-jitsu. And let's see if Aspinall Jiu-Jitsu can come up to that par. Everyone's getting better over time, so we're going to see this weekend if Aspinall is like the real deal. He's the real deal regardless. Even if he loses, he's so young and he's so raw in the UFC that he's going to have time to improve and be back there. Like, look at all the people that have gone there. Look at Tai Tuivasa. Tai Tuivasa's got a championship bout with almost a 500 in this card. Jojo asks who he thinks is the lock in this card, Josh.
I thought the Levitt fight with Pimblett.
Paddy Pimblett, yeah.
Yeah. I thought Levitt was gonna probably, do some things in that matchup, and at first I was excited. And I seen the.
Where did you get a lock? Is Levitt a lock for you then?
No,
or is Pimblett a lock?
no.
He's asking who's your lock for this card is. Out of all these guys.
I think Blades for sure is the lock, because I know Aspinall's up and coming, but I don't think it's going to be this match where where he's going to show what he's going to showcase, you know, here in the near future. I know he is a problem for these heavyweights, or he's going to be a future problem because he's young and like you said, he's athletic. He has his jiu-jitsu.
No, that's Aspinall, not Blades. So Blades is your lock?
I think Blades is going to win this match. I mean, you know, Blades.
But is he your lock?
I would say so. Besides that Lewis fight, I mean, he's been kicking butt, you know, and.
You heard it from him. You know, that everyone's got their opinions. You know, that's why we bet and we gamble, and all opinions are valid.
We'll circle back to it, but I feel good about that one.
No, Blades is a legitimate dog in this spot, and you get dog money for Blades. Like, he could be a spoiler in London. There's no doubt about it. He could be a spoiler there, and now you'll get him at plus 112, which isn't fantastic. I like Blades. I mean, I don't know how to bet Blades. If I was on the Blades side, I guess you just take him at that plus money. Blades by decision only.
I think it's going to be a knockout between those guys.
Blades TKO is plus 270. Aspinall is plus 190. All right. One thing that's odd, that's interesting, is look at Aspinall by decision. Plus 75. What if this ends up being like a really tough grappling and counter grappling match where it does go to the 5 rounds? I mean, those decision lines on each of the guys is good, and including the go the distance. Yes, to go the distance is plus 210. That's not a bad line at all. I don't see why this instantly is a finish or nothing. I wouldn't, you know, yes, Aspinall has like, I think, almost 100% finish rate. Let's see what Aspinall's finish rate here is. But Blades, you know, yeah, he's been knocked out, and everyone assumes right away that he's chinny. I mean, he's not chinny. He could just be knocked out. I mean, we saw that. But he's not really chinny.
But at that time, he was shooting, which is, he wants to take you to the ground. And Lewis was waiting for that, hit him with the uppercut. So that's, you know, it's one of those moments that he caught you sleeping.
Yeah, Blades has been knocked out 100% of his losses. And it doesn't show me the, well, Blades has a lot more experience here. But something that with Aspinall that really strikes me, that's notes, is that he has a 61% over a 35% significant strike accuracy. So even on the feet, he's got a huge, huge advantage. And on the grappling side, you look at the control time, they're both almost equal. Blades is at a 96%, where Aspinall is at 100%. The takedown ratio is stunning in favor of Blades. Blades has a 62 takedowns against four times that he's been taken down, where Aspinall's never been taken down in the UFC, but has only faced 4 takedowns, where Blades faces 8.16 takedowns a fight. So, you know, look at the defense. This is another thing, again, I mentioned, don't expect Aspinall not to take him down. Blades' takedown defense is only 33%, and that's because nobody shoots against him. He's only faced 6 takedown attempts, and I don't know which particular fights he faced those or someone achieved those takedowns, but I wouldn't rule out Aspinall. That's why I wouldn't rule out that submission or the ground and pound TKO, the club and sub, because I think Aspinall can possibly take Blades down. Blades is not going to be ready. He's not going to be expecting for Aspinall to shoot on him, and Aspinall doesn't have to worry about shooting on him. He's not going to have to worry about falling into a choke, you know, like I fell in the Brian's choke.
The stogie's burning, right?
Mm-hmm. Brian's asking, what is the 5-round decision on Aspinall? Well, you could just go to distance decision. Round five decision. Round 5. Right found is plus 163. Round 5 decision is plus 163, which isn't bad, because plus 220 is the yes to go the distance, as I say. Plus 220 here to go the distance. Yeah, plus 210. So the round 5 decision is not a bad play there. I don't think that's horrible. Yes, I'm going to play the finish on Aspinall's part. We got 4 guys watching right now. Please join in the chat. Hit the like button. Let us know what you guys think. Throw in questions for myself or Josh. Throw in questions about this cigar, the Arturo Fuentes Maduro. We got the Founders 4 Giant. You guys can find this Founders 4 Giants at your local store. This is a good, strong beer. You notice I'm not chugging it because it has that 8.5 alcohol content. It's smooth. You can chug it, but it's not going to let you.
No, it's that microbrewery, you know. Real fond of this stuff.
It has a creamy start and then that kick. That
Hazy.
it's hazy in the middle, but the end is like it almost like it's that whiskey barrel, but not quite the bourbon barrel. It's not heavy bourbon, but it's like not easy. Ooh, product review suck. No, this is Sip and Smoke. We review the beers. We're not reviewing any of the gum parts today, Joey. We're reviewing the beers. We're reviewing the cigars.
You gotta get yourself one of these, bud.
Joey doesn't smoke. Doesn't smoke or drink.
That's
He be smoking the pipe, but that's not the type of pipe that we smoke. Right, Joey? Joey smokes something, but it ain't cigars, and it ain't beer, weed, or cigarettes.
That's not good. But yeah, how about that Levitt fight? That's gonna be a good fight. I mean, Levitt's up and coming.
Real News, what's going on, dude? Real News asking about the Pimlet. Talk about the Pimlet fight, Josh.
That's, I was excited for this fight because the way Jordan Levitt's been coming on strong and
yeah, but I don't think he's that good.
And that's what this fight will determine that. Definitely, because it's gonna be his biggest match. He had a couple of showcasings where he showed out a little bit, but we all know what Patty brings to the table. And
I don't think Patty's that good either. He's popular. He's big on the popularity side, but
I see why he is though, because you see that he could be that good. These guys are up and coming. The new era's up and coming, and the old era's coming out the door, and that's the way the UFC works, along with life.
Yeah, but these two guys are pretty much primarily newcomers, but the difference is Levitt might be a little older. I'm not positive on that. Let's take a look at that. If Levitt is older than Pimlet, he definitely doesn't have the fight experience that Patty Pimlet has. Patty Pimlet was a Cage Warriors champion.
Correct.
And that says something. When you're a Cage Warriors champion, that means you're no joke.
Oh yeah.
You're English and / European champion. Actually, they're the same age. I thought Levitt was older.
Levitt looks a little old, but and I think Levitt did a couple of contender series, or did he just do the one contender series? I'm not sure if they called him back or whatever the situation was on that. But
yeah, you're correct. He got a submission in the contender series,
yep. And
that's when he did the splits, and then they put him in.
I'm not into the Disco Inferno stuff, but hey, to each his own.
Again, this is a good cigar. You see that ash, nice long ash. I could get it longer, but I don't want to drop on my carpeting over here, so I'm going to ash it out. I don't normally do that. And you just little tap. You don't tap into the ashtray. You don't slam it down when you're de-ashing these things. And you see that it's got a nice little cone at the edge. It's burning a little uneven, but not horrible. This is a well-rolled cigar. The spiciness is gone. The sugars are starting to emit from it. It's smoothed out. Arturo Fuentes is a standard cigar. These are good cigars. This one was $10, $10.25. It was on sale. It's normally like $11.25. You grab these cigars, you put it in the humidor for like a year, and then you smoke it. And then it won't have that spicy start to it. The sugars will be out naturally in the beginning. And it's not like when I say sugars, it's not like that cognac dip crap or that flavored cigars. It really is just the tobacco acting out or showing its natural flavors in its raw state, not really something that's added to it. You don't want any. I'm not into those additive cigars. If you're into that, that's fine. Some people really enjoy those cigars. I really don't. I actually prefer the taste of natural tobacco So if it tastes like a pepper or if it has a spiciness to it. Uh-oh, Joe's asking Josh what his two-piece parlay is. Two fighters on this card that you think you'd play.
Like, I'm really excited to see those heavyweights in the main event.
No, that's not the question. The question is, what's your parlay?
Let me get to it, bud. And so I guess I will go with Patty and Blades. Patty and Blades, and see where it takes
Patty
me.
and Blades will get you some good money. That's because you're pairing a dog with a favorite.
I mean, and even the main event, you know, I do think Blades is gonna win, but if Aspinall won,
no, I mean that's not a
be surprised.
That's not. I mean, I'm not gonna hate you because Blades is a live dog, dude. Blades is Aspinall's toughest test, and I think Patty has all the advantages both on the ground and on the feet. So,
like you said, he's a Cage Warrior champion.
Yeah, right? He's a champion. Where
you've seen it in his fights in the little UFC time he's had. You've seen the ability. So that's why we're excited for this.
Your parlay will get you to plus 193. You threw a half unit on there or $50. You'll win 100. You'll profit $100. That's not bad. Plus 193. It's not horrible.
That's not shabby because those are locks, bud.
Yeah. Well, that's his two-piece. I wanted to do a two-piece, but I didn't. But and my two-piece now is just way too out of hand because Mark DeCasey is minus 375, and he shouldn't be minus 375 in that thing. I got Paul Craig at plus 140. Now he's plus 125. Ooh, I forgot about what the submission. Let's see what the Paul Craig submission is. Oh, Blades is a lock? Hey, for him. Craig by submission is plus 220. That is half the value of what he was out last time. Oh, they're rolling with Josh. Come on, Joey. You're with Blades. I mean, Aspinall the whole time. Fuck. No, he switched. Joey switched with you. He's with you now. I think Blades.
You know, Blades, he got something to prove. And especially after that Lewis fight. I mean,
well, that Lewis fight was a while ago, bro. That's 2 fights ago.
That's what I'm saying. He got knocked out stone cold. You know,
but he beat Rosenstruck by decision, which is impressive, and he knocked out Dawkins.
And prior to that, right? So you're always, you're trying to succeed. You're leading up, right? You have a little fallout, and then you jump back on the horse and you get back on it.
Yeah, he says, Joey says that you're making sense. Blades, it is Blades' time, and it really can be. It's one or the other time. It could be Blades' time. He's been knocking on the door for years. He's been bitter that he hasn't gotten a championship for years.
Exactly.
And he, because he's a boring fighter. Now, the UFC's been somewhat holding him back because he just isn't a draw, where Aspinall is a draw.
Oh, it's a tough business. It's a tough business. You got something to prove, and you put it all out there in the octagon. That's what we love to see.
Keep the questions going, guys. That way we interact with you guys. And we're able to enjoy our beer and cigar a little bit better as opposed to just talking. But yeah, this beer is pretty good, man. I think this one is really good.
Oh, this beer is a lock.
And they said they give you the chain. They said they give you the chain. He's got his own chain, as you can see.
Swag chain, huh? Come on, put it on.
Oh, this is for the real heavyweights.
It's heavy duty right there, man.
Brian asked Josh, "How do you get the invite?" They've been trying for years to get in here.
This is what we do, man. This is what we do. We know MMA. We enjoy it with a passion. And trying these micro brews too, man. Pretty gnarly, pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a big difference. Josh actually likes the beers. He's a beer aficionado, like I'm a cigar aficionado. I'm a beer aficionado. So that'll get you in. If you enjoy beers, that's always, if you have something else to talk about or just to enjoy, do the rock, Josh. They want you to do, can you smell? Can you do it?
Can you smell what the rock is cooking?
Yeah, you got to do it in the camera for him. Do it in the camera.
I'll do the hoaxster.
Do the hoaxster. Do it. Go ahead, do it. You got to get in the center of the camera. You could do a good rock. Do a rock. I bet you could do a rock.
Rock?
Can you smell?
Oh, yeah, with the eyebrows?
Go in the camera. Get in the center. Get in the center and show them. Get in the middle.
Can you smell what the rock is cooking? You see the eyebrows? That's just like the rock. Just it's all fun and games, fellas. All fun and games.
Yeah, guys, I'm still beat up. You know, from my trip, it was a fast and furious trip, man. Day trips are rough, especially going into the water. And I got some serious sunburn. I'm going to be peeling. I'm going to be feeling the sunburn for a while. Oh, Josh, they're saying Josh take over. Oh, Josh can take over. He's a charismatic guy.
That's the eyebrow. All right. We're talking MMA or we're talking wrestling. It's fun. It's all fun, man.
And I like the cigar. This thing's good.
I can smell it.
It's good. It needed to age. I'm gonna make my humidor.
It's a good aroma in here.
Yeah, it is.
And it's a real aroma. It's not like the
That's true, because sometimes with the shitty cigars,
the smoke's being blown in my face.
it's
like,
harsher.
I can sense it in the air. You know? It's not Michael Jordan does it, bud.
Another fight that I'm interested in, guys, and let me hear your opinion right now, guys. The only other bet that I have, other than Aspinall and Paul Craig on the money line, and I'm going to bet by submission at plus 220. I'm still going to hit that. Not crazy, just like it. Yo, check, sound check. Sound check. All right, we're back on. Holy shit.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Sound check. All right, we're back on. Holy shit.
Mic check, 1 2.
All right, we are up. Supposedly. Damn, this technology the struggle with technology. Using old shit.
The struggle is real.
All right, guys. Oh, my back. My body. All right, guys. Oh, my back. Body.
We back on?
We're back on.
Let's get it going.
Rio, come on up, Rio.
Where we at? Where did we leave off?
Come on. Up, come on. Come on. Get on up here. Come on.
That's real
Tell them
deal.
what's up, Rio. Tell them what's
Holyfield.
Tell them how you gonna. Where's that dog money at? Tell them where the dog money at. Where that dog money at? Tell them, Rio. Tell them how to win that bank. Well, what you got to do is find the bone. Because we all know I like taking meat off the bone. Oh, real? See? You smell stinky.
That's what Blades might do in the main event. Take
Right.
Aspinall's meat off the bone.
This is Rio. Rio's a survivor. He be killing fools. Get him, Rio. Show him the moves, Rio. Show him your jiu-jitsu. Show him your jiu-jitsu. You want to grapple, Rio? Come on, let's grapple. I'll get you, boy. You smell like puke something. Huh? Rio likes beer. Look at. Ooh. Give him a little something. Oh, see, he be looking at it. He likes it. He likes it. Rio likes it. They're going to get me for dog abuse, animal abuse. Well, guys, we're back. Any more questions? We're going to be on for another, as long as the stream kicks back, if it kicks us out again, we'll be gone. Otherwise, we will be here. So, any more questions? What we're doing, again, my main plays are Aspinall by finish, Aspinall on the money line, as well as Paul Craig on the money line. I got him at plus 140.
Paul Craig's a dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna still hit that sub line. I'm gonna bet Paul Craig by sub, even at plus 220 until it's dead, until I can't bet that anymore. I'm gonna bet it. So that's gonna be something that I'm gonna continue to do. But I don't know who else came in. If Real News was in here, come on, get on down, Real. There you go, boy. Wow, so that worked.
Let's look at the fight card. Let's see what
the fight card's right here. We've been looking at it. It's all right here. We got Aspinall. We talked about Aspinall. We could start from the beginning, but I don't think we have time for that.
Yeah, we don't want to
necessarily.
Top down.
I just went with my plays. Let's look at. Did they kill my? Oh no, it's still there. The fight between Makwan Amirkhani versus Jonathan Pierce or JSP. I'm still on Amirkhani.
He's the guy who's been wrapping people up in that one hold.
Yeah, he's got that one submission that he always does. Exactly.
Anaconda.
Is it his anaconda choke?
Woo!
No, he is one submission dude for sure.
And he's been able to lock people up in the UFC, and people rarely see that submission.
And I think
this shows how good his skill set is.
JSP is so underperforming. I don't think he's very good at any level. Let me grab something. Talk to him. Talk to him about Amirkhani and that dude.
Who else we got? Amirkhani's a dog. I know he lost a couple of fights ago, but prior to that, same thing as Curtis. They were all, going up and had that one loss, and you get back on the train and try to ride it out.
So, guys, we are, again, drinking the Founders 4 Giants. This beer is no joke, man. The thing will give you a buzz. It packs a punch. But it's a good beer for the summer if you want something that isn't just your typical light lager. It drinks really nice.
This is one of a kind right here.
Oh, not good. I let my cigar die. But that's good. Most cigars, if you don't work your cigar, they will die. They will go out, and that's a good thing.
Hats off to Founders.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, Jonathan Pierce lands more strikes than Amirkhani. That's because he gasses. And he has a slightly better accuracy, but Jonathan Pierce isn't, these are just stats. But even on the grappling, Pierce supposedly is superior to him, but he's not that impressive to me. He's got some wins. Pierce just doesn't impress me very much. I think he's going to fall into Amirkhani's strength, which is that first round submission. And what is Amirkhani first round submission? What is that? Let's take a look at that. And that's the lead off the card. Amirkhani, that means that Amirkhani by finish is going to be pretty meaty. The Amirkhani by submission is plus 375. Pierce by submission is plus 575. And I think that is a winning method. So it's going to be an ugly fight while it lasts. But I think even if he fades, I still like him. Americana. He's disappointed me a few times. I bet on him. I never said I wouldn't bet with him. I mean, I was on Grundy his last time out, and he schooled Grundy in like 20 seconds. He got the takedown and submission. So let's see what happens there. But that is my other play. I just threw a flyer on it. Half the unit, $50 in total. But I got it at good plus money. I got him at plus 195, I think. Now he's down to, on the money line, he's plus 170. So I got him at plus 195 at a half unit, $50. So those are my three main plays, folks. You could take what you want, do what you want with them. I'm not playing too many other ones. I think that there are a lot of good over-unders here. Like this fight is set at, the over-under is set at both 1.5 and 2.5. Over 1.5 is minus 180. The under 1.5 is plus 133. I don't mind that at all because Pierce could possibly catch Amir Marquand, but I really like the Marquand by submission or either of them by decision. Like a Marquand by decision is plus 650. And Pierce is more favored at by decision at plus 265. So Vegas sees this as yes to go the distance, which is at plus 150, which is interesting because my lock on this is Aspinall. So that's how we differ than, or you know, like sure, okay, my two locks won't make you any fucking money. It doesn't matter what they are. Like my two locks are Mark DeCasey at minus 375. And Muhammad Mokaev at minus 500. If you parlay those two, you're at minus 195. Yes, you know, Dan, the man, you know, cocksucking Dan is, you know, willing to do that minus 195, bet $10,000. If you bet $10,000 on that parlay, or he'll bet like 5,000. He'll win $2,600. He'll bet $5,000 and win $2,600. I can't do that. So it ain't what the Rock is cooking.
Check it out. Gustafsson versus Nikita. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a great fight right there.
I think Gustafsson's going to get dominated. And I think Vegas agrees with me because Gustafsson is now a plus 160 underdog. Krylov's is minus 200. Over 1.5 is minus 182. I don't think that's a bad bet. I think this is going to go to a decision, but Krylov can be a bit of a finisher. Let's look at what his finish rate is over here. Boom, 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 boom. We're updating the tail of the tape. Gustafsson's also a little old. Actually, yeah, he's 35 years old. He's going to have a 4-inch reach advantage and a 2-inch height advantage. Nikita Krylov actually has a better fight record, not in the UFC. They have very similar UFC records with only 2 win difference between them. Alexander Gustafsson is 10-7 in the UFC, while Nikita Krylov is 8-7. Obviously, Alexander Gustafsson has more fight duration, more fight time. But here's a big thing. 80% of Nikita Krylov's fights end in a inside the distance compared to 71%. The XR percentage, it favors Gustafsson, as well as the XR round percentage favors Gustafsson. But you look at, Krylov has 50% of his wins by knockout, by submission. He has the grappling advantage as well. So his overall game is going to be better. He spends 37% of his fights in control time, whereas compared to 16% for Gustafsson. He has a higher takedown rate, although Gustafsson does get takedowns, and Gustafsson has a better takedown accuracy, but he doesn't attempt as many, and he doesn't have anywhere near the submission ratio. Gustafsson has attempted 5 submissions in the UFC compared to 4 against, whereas Krylov has attempted 9. So Krylov has spent 32% of his time in a control position with less takedown defense, but he's faced a hell of a lot more takedowns. If anything, Gustafsson is a live dog. I just can't bring myself to bet him. Just the way he's looked in these previous fights, the guy has just looked slow. He's looked like not the same way that we've seen him. people at work want to hear your locks again. Brian, we already went over this, brother.
Take it easy.
You can roll back. Talk to him.
I mean, anything, you know, like I said, the heavyweights, it's gonna be a toss-up, but I got blades. I'm gonna go with experience. And you know, I was excited to see Jordan Levitt versus Paddy Pimblett.
Yeah, I think that's a good fight too.
That's
the fans' fight.
It's very intriguing.
You're talking about the two fights I think that are the fan fights on this card.
Levitt's been, you know, on the come up from the Contender Series. A couple of UFC wins, obviously big, and then you got Paddy Pimblett, who was the Cage Warrior champion.
No, yeah, Paddy Pimblett was Cage Warrior, yes.
Yep. Ex Cage Warrior champion, really hyped up in the UFC world. But when you see him fight, I don't think he's put a highlight reel together as of yet. But
started to. He got 2 finishes. His last 2 bouts were finishes. So
I was gonna say, you see the skill set though in the way he fights, which can't be taught. It's based off experience.
Yeah, he's got two fights in the UFC and both were finishes, but he has 2 losses in his career. And even though he was and I think that's just because he was slacking. Like, he got overconfident. He probably wasn't training as hard. He was getting that money, and the money's what matters to these guys. You could just, like, everyone's figured out that Conor formula. It doesn't matter if you're good. If you put butts in the seat and you're making money, these guys are prize fighters. The titles don't mean as much if you're making the money. Look at Nate Diaz. He's making the money. Masvidal's making the money.
Oh, when Nate Diaz finishes this last UFC fight, then he's really going to get into another aspect of life where the money really will come to him because of his name. But at the end of the day, you know what the Diaz brothers bring, and that's what it's about.
Yeah, I mean, they're prize fighters. They fight for money. Like, I wouldn't care if I lost. Like, look at Conor. He's lost, 3 of his last 4? And he's still the highest paid fighter in history, and he's made more money in his last fight losing as a loser than the winner. Like, probably triple, if not quadruple, what they make. And it doesn't matter if you win. It's the money that matters. Like, these guys are...
Look at Mazadov, backyard brawling. Now he's taking selfies.
Highest paid fighter in the UFC now.
With the prince from one of those...
you know, Masvidal makes more than Usman. He makes more than Adesanya. He makes more than all the champs. You know, I mean, he makes more than everybody.
Also, there's a rich history to it. You know, prior to UFC, you see the backyard brawls with Kimbo Slice. You know, and so that's the way things unfold. So it's the way the cookie crumbles.
I mean, the boxers are talking about that. Like Jake Paul mentioned that in his fight that he was talking about. Like, his opponent nobody knows his opponent. Just like Paddy Pimblett and this guy, Jordan Levitt. Jordan Levitt, his fans and his OnlyFans and everybody, his Instagram kicked up by 5 times just fighting Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett made Jordan Levitt famous.
And prior to that, I mean, you know, when you see Levitt, you're not probably intrigued. Some of you are, but then little by little, you know, you get on a roller coaster. It's like you're climbing up, you know, and then you know you're gonna take that dip down, and but that's what it is. It's like a rise up right now for Jordan Levitt.
I think this is where the rise ends. I think I normally bet Paddy Pimblett. Paddy's gonna put the hurt on him.
Flops on him.
Yeah, Paddy's gonna put the hurt on him. I agree with Paddy. He's not a crab, but Jordan Levitt's striking just isn't anywhere near what Paddy's is. You know, one thing about English guys, they could box. English guys, just like guys from Hawaii, just like us Puerto Ricans and Mexicans, we grow up scrapping. We're born to scrap, like scrapping. English guys like to scrap. They don't want to wrestle. They learned the wrestling. They picked up the wrestling. You see all the Mexicans pick up the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu now too. But the natural tendency is to scrap, is to box. And I think Paddy has that, always is going to have that in his back pocket where, you know, he's not going to be the best at it, but the guy can take it and give it. And
be able to throw them hands at the end.
He throws them hands, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you can't get the guy down, you're going to have to face somebody. You know, even in the women's game, you see, or you'll see it, and sometimes like our other guy's going to be sprawling for his life, who's on this card. Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis is going to be sprawling and brawling. You know what I mean? Chris Curtis, even though I don't think Chris Curtis is going to be out of the hand against Jack Hermanson on the ground, you saw what he just did against Roger, the jiu-jitsu specialist. Yeah, no, Jack wants to. Jack can stand up. I like Hermanson. I like Hermanson because Hermanson, man, the guy just wants to fight. You know, like he wants to fight. Like he has that desire and that will.
You could throw him in the octagon with any.
Yeah, and it's going to be exciting. And I think he's underrated as an exciting fighter because he doesn't have the record to show it, and he's now relegated himself to a gatekeeper, which is fine. But the guy brings it, and every time he wants to fight. He's not afraid of anybody. He's in there to take fights at any point. So. Josh versus Rob, what's the line? Well, I'm an old man. Josh has got some wrestling chops too. So his dad was a wrestler. So, and I'm old.
We're raised around the boxing game, the MMA game here in the future, or per se right now, the present. And prior to that, it was wrestling. So we love it all. We love it all, and the way it unfolds is the best thing. We can all say this, say that, and then come Saturday,
That's why we gamble. That's the whole gambling part. Is like the opinions don't matter until you get paid, and who gets paid has the better opinion at the end of the day. Whoever wins, you could, just like Conway said, you could talk all the shit you want, but nobody's going to be there to fight with you in the cage. And then how it matters, even if Conor talks crap, and he has got more money, at the end of the day, he's not a winner. He's not the winning fighter. He's not the best fighter. But he's winning in that money game, so it's a give or take. Would you rather have that nice Lamborghini, or would you rather have the UFC belt? That's an interesting proposition.
Yeah.
Would you rather be the wealthiest fighter in the UFC or the best fighter in the UFC? What about that, guys?
And we all know because of the money, Conor ain't been the same. So, but we all love to watch him on PPV. So,
I'd rather fuck the fame. I'd rather take the fortune. Although that UFC gold is something to be had. If you're a fighter, you fight for the pride of that. Some guys, that's all that matters to them. But I'd rather take the money. Because because you could sell the belt. You see all these NBA, Super Bowl champions, they sell those rings. Baseball players, they sell that ring. Right? So the trophy doesn't matter. Right? They're still going to be champions. They still, at the end of the day, they need that money to survive. They need that money to continue their lifestyle. So I would take the money. I'd rather take the money.
Ain't nothing like the champion bloodline, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You could always say that you were the champion. You weren't just a player in it. You weren't ordinary. But and you always will be that. So you could sell the ring, but the belt, like a lot of guys have held. Look at Dos Anjos, had the belt, not wealthy, still struggling. A lot of these fighters, Chris Weidman had the belt, doing okay, still somewhat struggling. Chuck Liddell. Struggling. Look at Tito Ortiz.
The game has evolved, though. As far as that, Conor made the game evolve, and now those guys are looking for the money. It wasn't just for the fame and the octagon.
Yeah, back in the day, it was for the
like
belt.
Anybody will fight anybody because it's about, hey,
I'm the best fighter. Yeah,
if you're a fighter, you're a fighter. That's what it is, And
you're right. That era is over.
Even they probably stepped in the octagon knowing that they were going to lose. I mean, that's
or
how much
lose.
pride
Yeah.
these guys got, and. There's nothing wrong with that.
And that's changed. And I think Paddy Pimblett and fighters like Sean O'Malley are a testament to that it's not how good you are, it's what you bring to the table in terms of tickets. I mean, each of those guys are making more money outside of the octagon than they are inside. I mean, shit, you got that one woman on OnlyFans selling things of her feet. She's making more money on Instagram or on OnlyFans selling things of her feet than she did in the octagon, and she was a losing fighter.
150 for them stank ass socks. Woo wee! Gotta get it.
I'd sell my fucking socks and my stinky socks for $150. Shit, please. I can buy a lot of socks at that.
That's probably selling for $1.50.
Yeah, I'd sell them for they're worth more than $1.50, and then I have to send them, so it costs more money for shipping and handling. But if any of you guys want to buy my socks, more than happy to ship them to you. And yeah, I showed the Band-Aid over there. I could take that off. It's actually a small little scar. I'm just protecting it, keeping it clean, making sure that
from that elbow.
Oh my God! Oh.
What's the line now, huh? Take a live bet, bud. Nah, but it's all proposition. What we're assuming.
Prospecting, yeah. No, we make intelligent decisions. We don't assume anything. Right? We don't assume makes an ass out of you and me. We're not in the business of assuming. We're taking information, previous fight history, and trying to discern the best probable outcomes for our money and the best return on our money.
For sure.
Right? That's what we're doing in the About Better channel, as well as just in anything. We're always trying to make the best decision for ourselves. And that's what you need to do for yourselves as well. That's why this is a tough card. A lot of traps here. A lot of areas that aren't, I think a lot of people are going to be parlaying a lot of these fighters, and not all of them are going to win. There are going to be some dogs that win here. And that being said, if you guys could mention which dogs you guys think, if you see, like Molly McCann's line, I think is out of hand. I'm going to not bet on her. I'm going to bet on
Molly Meatball.
I'm going to bet against Molly Meatball. Come on. Are you kidding me? Molly Meatball barely got that finish. The other girl was coming against her, and now she's minus 420. Yeah, I got to take Goldie Hawn at plus 310, and I'm only going to throw like $30 on it.
They hype Molly up, and
Molly does good in those London cards, though. I mean, she's in front of her family, her audience.
That's what it is.
And she's fighting with two of her guys, especially Patty Pimlet. They're going to feed off each other, and some of that energy, depending on they seem to a combination where it benefits them. It doesn't always work that way. It doesn't always translate that way. But this particular bout, it is, I think, going to work that way. Molly McCann has all the upside. And Hannah Goldie is just a one-dimensional, just power, just strength, no knockout power, mediocre wrestling. A lot of people are underestimating her wrestling because she's not a pure grappler. She didn't have that wrestling background. I think she was a fitness champion, one of those like ultimate fitness champions, one of those people, CrossFit champions. Great body, but it's how you translate that body and those body mechanics, how they work in the octagon that matter. But the line is skewed, so I got to go dog or pass, and I'm going dog. I'm going Goldie Hannah. I haven't put the bet on, but I might throw something on there. We'll see. I don't know if I want to waste my profit. I'm spending a lot of money lately on things that I enjoy, but I need to start being a little more intelligent with my bets and not just throwing all these flyers out there. Because at the end of the day, if you're making like 3-10 flyer, 3-10, I've done 10 flyers, but you're making 3 or 4 flyers on a bet, and you're betting 3 at 30 or 3 at 50 or at $150 or $90, and you're only betting 1 or 2 units on your main bet, that takes away from your profit if that main bet hits. So you have to be careful with your flyers, and limit those. Unless you feel a certain way, besides the line being skewed, that they actually have a path to victory, you might just be shooting yourself in the foot. So I'm actually going to stay away from a lot of that. This thing is Chris Curtis. I like that Chris Curtis is back to being an underdog at this point. I'm happy with that. That might be a flyer that I'm with. Again, I'm not certain about Hannah Goldie. Do not bet Charles Johnson against Molikev. Jordan Levitt, man, he could be a live dog. Charles Rosa, another line that's off. Charles Rosa brings it, dude. The guy is crafty. He's got good submission abilities. Nathaniel Wood is a hard hitter, strong kid. We saw what he did. Very, very strong, good, super fast, super speed. I think he could overwhelm Charles Rosa in that first round. So let's see what Nathaniel Wood.
Rosa for the submission.
Yeah, or Rosa by submission. Yeah, I agree, bro. No, he but Rosa, his problem is that he spends way too much time on his back. He's willing to go on the ground, and you don't want to do that against Nathaniel Wood. Wood's got serious power in the hands. Super strong kid. His father was not just a wrestler, but I think was like one of those what are they called, the super, those guys, the big fucking dudes, but he's not super big. That just a weightlifter and super strong guy. Yeah, hey, Rosa by submission plus 1,300. That's where you throw the $20 flyer on a bet like that. If you're gonna be on Rosa, look for him by submission at plus 1,300, because he's not him by TKO is plus 1,700, but that submission could be live. At plus 1,300. That's the only thing there. Knockout. And then, but he's plus 400 as an underdog. So I mean, I have to discern whether I'm going to bet those. I lose so. Oh, did we go out down again? No, we didn't. I lose so much money by placing those flyers, though, that you lose not your flyers. And at the end of the night, even though I bet well and I won my main bets, I end up winning like fucking 40, 10 bucks, 50 bucks, 100 bucks. And I mean, that's okay. You didn't lose, but at the end of the day, for all the stress, you're risking 400 to win 20, or whatever it is. That sometimes even more. I'll risk $1,000 to win 100. you know, at the end of the night. And that's not smart. You could have just put that $1,000 into your savings account or into your 401k or something else and got the same result over a year, if not better. And you still had that money, right? You didn't, you know, so it's what you guys do with your money. Money management in gambling is super important and in life. I was never a great money manager. I'm trying to improve on that. We're trying to get better, but it's hard when you live like I do. You know, when you're smoking $10 cigars, drinking fucking $20 4-packs of beer. Well, actually, these were only $10.99, which is a great price for this beer.
It's a bargain.
This is a good for this beer. The Founders 4 Giants, $10.99 a 4-pack. You can get these. These are probably available nationally in the United States. Uh-oh, are we down again? No, we're not. We're good. That's actually a good deal for this beer. This is a bargain beer for this. You get a premium microbrew that's going to give you that buzz. That has great flavor. It's a complex beer. It's not just a one-dimensional beer. It pairs with food well, I'm certain. It's doing great with the cigar. That's the way to go. You know, it's better than your fucking Miller High Life, your Tiskies.
Oh, yeah. This is cream of the crop, fellas. Step your game up and start bout betting.
These guys all about bet. All my fans, all the people that are on this channel are very knowledgeable about MMA, great with their bets. I think it's because we're all part of a similar community. We all do similar strategies in terms of the research that we do. We're all versed in our fighters. So,
oh, yeah, for sure. Hands on. Finito.
I know we're not finito yet. We got another at least half hour until it drops off.
Let it slide.
You want to let it slide? You want to go off with any other questions? Anybody else participating? We're going to drop off soon, I think. You want to drop off?
It's time to chill. We've already been in the chill zone. Gonna walk the dog, get to life, and we're gonna come back to it. It's been wonderful.
I don't know. I think we stay until at least another 20 minutes or so. I'm not gonna walk the dog. He walks him. You know,
he's not barking, huh?
No, he wants to walk. He's like, yo, where's my beer?
Take it easy.
He's all right.
That's real deal Holyfield.
He's all right.
He's a good fella.
He's chilling.
He's one of us.
All right, Josh. Between you and I, what other fight interests you here? Let's look at one.
That whole fight card, right? Let's take
the cards. We ain't got time for the whole fight. We already went through stuff. Like right now.
No, the main.
Out of all these that we haven't covered, we've covered Aspinall. We sort of covered Chris Curtis Hermanson. We covered that. Jordan Levitt, Gustafson we covered. Holly McCann, Paul Craig we covered. We didn't cover Mason Jones versus Klein Lovett, Mark DeCasey, Damir Hozovic. Nathaniel Wood, we mentioned that a little bit. We mentioned Americani and Pierce. We didn't talk about Jai Herbert and Kyle Nelson. Do you know anything? Do you have a feeling either way about that bout? Do you know any of those guys? If you don't, it's okay to say it.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar.
All right, well, Jai Herbert, I think, is going to win that, but I wouldn't bank on it.
Jai Herbert, yeah. He's a name.
Yeah, I think we've covered most of them. I think, is there any...
And if I don't know, then that means I need to watch the prelims to know. So that's all it is, an experience.
All right, well, I think we're there. All right, well, guys, we are going to just conclude this stream. Thank you very much for those that have joined us. Thanks for Josh here, co-host for tonight's Sip and Smoke. And he was just sipping. I was the one smoking, so I was sipping and smoking. He was the one that was here. But again, if you've made it this far, you are a bout better. Thank you guys so much. Good luck this weekend. Hit the comment section, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the other end, all right? Good luck today. And you are a bout better.
You gotta upgrade your phone. This is gonna be the whole night.